So Bernie Sanders, in the wake of his announcement last week, I think it was, where he proposed having workers get seats on board of directors, not unlike we see in Germany. Labor unions in this country, I think, it would take some adjustment in terms of like trying to figure out how you maintain the relationship to management that is optimal, but also be able to sort of have some say in the governance. There was a second proposal that he had in terms of co-ops, which was an extension of legislation that has, I think, already been introduced in the House and maybe even in the Senate. I'm not sure, which would allow for family-owned businesses that want to sell there to be a bridge loan fund from the U.S. government to allow and finance the purchase of that company by the workers. He
started these first bills related to this in 2014 with Leahy as a co-sponsor.
Right. So there's, and this is building on that to expand that program, essentially, and promote more worker-owned companies like JustCoffee.coop, fair trade coffee, tea, or chocolate. Use the coupon code majority, get 10% off. I have to say that the time I spent at Just Coffee, I imagine maybe there are some co-ops that are not done well, but I don't know. But this one was it was impressive in terms of the sense of supporting all of the workers. They support each other as workers and as co-owners of this entity, but they also support their suppliers with basically the same level of commitment that they support each other with. And so, this is what these businesses do. They protect communities as well as protecting the specific needs of the workers. So good stuff all around. In the wake of those proposals, Sanders was asked on behalf of workers at Walmart to go and head to the shareholders meeting to represent their perspective. Here is a video, Bernie Sanders en route. This was posted just 2 hours ago. Here it is.
So what this event is about, what we're doing today, is telling the wealthiest family in the country, the Walton family that owns Walmart, that they have got to start paying their workers a living wage. This is a family that is worth $175 billion. Walmart is a company that provides compensation to its CEO of over $20 million a year, more than 1,000 times what their average worker makes. So what's going on in Walmart is just an example of what's going on all over this country. The very wealthy are getting wealthier and working people are struggling. So the message to Walmart today is pay your workers a living wage, at least $15 an hour. Allow them to work 40 hours a week. Provide them with decent health care. In a nation in which we have massive levels of income and wealth inequality, we have got to address this issue, and that's what we're doing today. Thank you.
So there is Bernie Sanders laying out his agenda, what he's going to be telling the Walmart shareholders as soon as he gets to the meeting. And literally, this got tweeted out about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, I guess. Cara Corday, who's with CBS News, she's a campaign reporter, tweets, before Senator Sanders takes the stage at the Walmart shareholders meeting. I guess at these meetings, you imagine it's like a boardroom or a conference table, but it's actually like a big theater because it's there's a lot of people. CEO Doug McMillon calls for Washington to raise the federal minimum wage. Quote, it's time for Congress to put a thoughtful plan in place to increase the minimum wage. That's pretty good. Very reminiscent of like when Governor Nixon of New York State was able to push all sorts of new legislation before she won the election. In fact, she never won the election, and still we got the benefits of that.
We should always thank Cynthia Nixon for doing that. She
honestly,
really helped it, and no one else was willing to do that. She helped a lot.
But nevertheless, there's Bernie already getting now. It's smart play by the CEO of Walmart to call for Congress to raise the federal minimum wage right now, because, and we'll talk about this, the U.S. Congress in the past 5.5 months has passed about 50 bills, some really good bills, that, of course, are going to go nowhere because of Mitch McConnell. And part of the reason why this story about the tariffs with Mexico is so important is it's conceivable that if Donald Trump is able to or actually imposes these tariffs, and his ability to do so unilaterally, I think is, I think it's quite possible. He does have the ability to do that. I think will seriously hurt the chances of the Republicans to maintain the Senate in 2020.